Welcome to 101. I'm Greg Bassett, your host from the Salisbury Independent newspaper, and today we have a newsmaker with us. She's Dawn Veatch. She's the new director at the Salisbury-Wicomico Ocean City Airport, which has a new name, SBY Airport, Regional Airport. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you.
What is the new name of the airport?
So basically,
it's a marketing name. I understand that.
It's a marketing name, and it's Salisbury Regional Airport.
Okay, Salisbury Regional Airport.
Yes.
Which is what it always should have been.
The basic premise is the airport identifier is SBY,
right.
Just like BWI is up in Baltimore. And
that's what your tag says.
Yes, and your tag says that. So we just kind of shortened it up so that we can do a little bit better marketing.
Well, you're new to town. You've been here since March,
yes.
And you're sort of taking the airport by storm.
We're doing a great job. I have a full team that helps me, though, every day. It's not just me, so I appreciate everybody's help and support.
But you're driving them, and there's something going on this weekend, which is something that I have said for years we needed at the airport. There's going to be an open house kind of event. Tell me what you got planned.
Absolutely. We've listened to the public, and everybody wants to come out. It's called Wings and Wheels. And it is a combination of everybody's favorite things: antique cars, antique airplanes, military aircraft. We're going to have a lot of different things going on, including a tower tour and airport rides.
Yeah, now the tower tour is exciting because none of us have ever been able to get, it's like the most secure location in North America, you would think. Since the thing was built, I think, in 1989, we've never been able to get in the tower.
Oh, wow. This will be awesome. It'll be a nice treat. So they're going to run tours. We'll have a little shuttle bus that'll run everybody around. So look for the sign and sign up and get in line because we know it's going to be a busy event.
So a lot of like the local pilots are going to bring in their planes and show them off? Or?
Yes, they'll fly in,
okay.
And those that don't want to show off, just want to fly in for the day instead of drive, they will park in a different area. But those that want to show their unique aircraft off, we have a special place for them.
Cool. Are we going to be able to take rides?
Yes, there's rides. Airplane rides are $20 in the regular 4-passenger airplane. And then there's a helicopter ride for $20. And then there's an old antique Stearman that will be taking rides up, open cockpit by wing. And that's awesome, and I think that's $75. So
this is really exciting.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Starts at 8 with a free pancake breakfast, which is a good way to get me there.
Yes, free pancake breakfast with the bacon and all the stuffed trimmings to go with it. And there'll be the CAP, Civil Air Patrol, will be there cleaning tables and helping keep everything picked up. And we're raising donations for them from the Salisbury Pilot Association. They'll be raising money for the CAP. And
I saw the breakfast is the Bayland hangar.
Yes, Bayland is sponsoring that. Awesome place, and we're really happy that they took this on because it's a lot of work and a lot of effort goes into setting up and cleaning out hangars to get ready to have a meal service. And they're also going to leave their hangar open for us for the food trucks in the afternoon so that people can take their drink and food and have a place to sit out of the sun.
Food trucks, my second favorite thing.
Yes, indeed.
This is great. Now, Bayland is the charter sort of service that's out there.
Yes,
right?
So they're our full, they're called a fixed base operator. They provide flight training, fueling, tie down. They also provide flight instruction.
You know, people don't realize that around the airport, Purdue has a hangar, sort of on the backside. Federal Express is out there.
Correct.
They're flying flights. State Police has the helicopter out there.
Indeed.
So there's lots of people that are using the airport that you don't even know, sort of back in the woods there.
Exactly, and that's what we hope having the open house and Wings and Wheels will help everybody get educated on their community airport because it is the community's airport, it's not mine. And everybody needs to understand the significant value of having an airport because it's more than just the airline and then having a place for what people sometimes think is a place for people with money to put their toys.
Right.
But it actually is an economic driver for the city of Salisbury and the Delmarva. And without a viable airport, not just with air transportation, but with runways where industry can move in, they can bring their own airplanes in and have a place to set up business. We're going to develop the industrial park, which will help bring that economic turn to Salisbury as well.
I remember in college I had an economics professor who said every successful community needs a community college, a hospital, and an airport. And I used to think, an airport? But
Well,
it is really important.
it is very important, and if you think about the national network of airports we have in this country, we used to have 7,000 general aviation airports. We only have 5,000 now. We're losing about one a month. So it's really important to preserve every airport because it's part of our national disaster preparedness scheme. So if you look at the Delmarva, if we had an earthquake that disrupted the tunnel and the bridge, or we had some other sort of event, the only way to get relief support into the Delmarva is at our airport at Salisbury. So it's a very important piece of the community protection.
Interesting. Now, with some of the things that are around the airport, you're looking to maybe attract more business. There's the business park across the street, but things that are tied directly into the airport. Talk about what some of the possibilities are there.
We're looking at building a new hangar that'll be about 38,000 square feet, we hope, and bring in a jet operator that will give us a place for overnight housing for corporate jets. Most of them now seem to go drop their passengers and go to Easton so that they can put their airplane in a hangar at night.
Right.
You don't leave $30 million airplanes sitting out on the ramp at night. Those airplanes get better care than the people that own them.
Yeah, and I've seen that. I love FlightAware, so I look at FlightAware all the
yes,
time, just to watch where things go. And I'll see the flight plan where they go to Salisbury, and then they go to Easton, and they come back the next day, and I never realized what that was about.
That is exactly
But
why.
they go, the pilots, and they spend the night there in Easton while their passengers remain doing business in Salisbury.
That's exactly right. And we want to recapture that lost business.
Yeah. And you see, too, they'll go to Georgetown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's a hangar up there, but
There's hangars
I hear
up
lots
there.
of good things about the Georgetown airport.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice things up there, too. And they have a nice museum and things like that. So we're hoping to do the same here at Salisbury.
Right. So the hangar is being held up right now. There's a water issue for sprinklers, I guess, but we're getting water from Warwick out to the airport.
That'll be awesome. To get the water out there for a large hangar needs the city water pressure for their extinguishing system. And then we'll have city water also for the tenants that are there because we're all on wells now.
Right.
And then also it'll actually help us develop the industrial park as well.
Right. And you have experience with this. You've come from airports that were very economically driven. Tell me about your experience and your background with that.
Where I got most of my economic education on developing airports was when I was with the FAA. I used to be the Western Hemisphere director, so I had all of Latin America up to Canada and everything in between. And those countries understood the economic value of their airport. The people that had them, their prime ministers didn't. So we did a lot of work with educating them on how the airport could really benefit them in being able to get their produce out, because a lot of them ship produce to the United States and other places, and they'd have a hard time getting it to market in time. And so the airport was actually something they had never thought about being a key factor, even a small one back in the back country, to get their produce out.
Right. That's cool. And you're a pilot yourself.
Yes, sir.
And you've done some crazy piloting.
Yes, I have.
Tell me about some of that.
I learned to fly because my dad, when I was a little girl, around 4, he used to take me to the airport, and he'd wait for somebody to say, "Would you like a ride, Mr. Harding?" And I'd be sitting there, of course, is why he took me, because they thought that I'd like to go. So I was kind of his bait for them. And we'd go get in the airplane and go fly around, and I loved it. Never lost the love for it. So I learned to fly in general aviation. I did not go to the military. I wear glasses, and that was a forget that kind of thing. So anyway, I went from a private license to a commercial ATP with a seaplane rating and CFII flight instructors and instrument ratings in 18 months. I just lived in an airplane, had 1,500 hours, and Dad helped me do that, and then I taught my dad how to fly after I got my instructor rating.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
Now, you flew these tankers, I understand, that help put out the fires?
I didn't fly the tankers.
Okay.
I flew the lead planes.
Okay.
And so it was a King Air 200, which is a turboprop aircraft that seats about 8 people. Most of the time, the seats were never in the airplane because we dropped smoke jumpers out the back with a static line. We take high priority radio equipment, or we do lead plane work for the C-130s when they come up from Van Nuys to get checked out for the year so they could go fly on fire missions.
Now, how did we find you? I know that Councilman John Hall is very thrilled that he found you somewhere, but I don't know the backstory.
So the backstory is I worked at AOPA after I retired from the FAA. I went to work for them for a couple years, and I was in the airport advocacy side. So we were lobbying in all 50 states for favorable legislation for general aviation and general aviation airports. And I actually did a video that was because of the activity and the experience I had working with Salisbury and with Cambridge Airport. So we did a video down in Florida. It wasn't at these two airports, but it was all about the airport economic engine. So John Hall and I got to know each other very well. I tried to help them with some ideas while I was at AOPA, and the position came open. I just threw my name in the hat, and here I am.
Yeah, you know, as a reporter, watching things unfold, John Hall used to complain about the Airport Commission all the time, and Wayne Strasburg, the deputy county administrator, used to complain that the airport director didn't report to anybody. So there's all this talk about what to do with the airport. And I used to think, everything's fine with the airport, just leave the airport alone. But they had a vision, they had ideas, they knew that there was much more possibility there. And I count myself again as someone who didn't get it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's why we did the video,
Yeah.
was so that people understand the economic value and that engine that it brings to developing a city, a community, the whole Delmarva.
Yeah, but just like this open house thing, I used to say, why don't we have an air show here? Oh, security, we can't do it. Well, why can't we? They have it other places. Oh no, we can't do something. And you're making it happen.
It's just
It's not a real air show, but it's like an air show.
We can do an air show, and we will. This is our first year. We didn't start with this idea until March 27th,
Right.
Which was already past the deadline to file
Yeah,
for our
it's a
FAA
fast one.
approval, but
Yeah.
we got it done.
Yeah.
Not that I know anybody, but we were able to get that done and approved, and it took a lot of work, a lot of commitment on a lot of people, and it's still going on as we speak. They're out there with the tractors mowing, getting everything looking nice, getting everything cleaned out in the hangars so that we can use them. We've got a beautiful stage for our band, which is, by the way, our my deputy, Dave Hines. It's his band.
Oh,
And
good.
I'm so sorry I forget the name of them, but there's 3 of them that between all the guys that play different types of music, so it'll be awesome.
Well, you don't know, but we went through a period there in the recession when things were bad, and the airport was the first place they cut some recurring expenses. And there were weeds out there in that parking lot, weeds 4 or 5 feet tall. They hadn't paved the parking lot in forever, re-topped it. And it was kind of scary. I thought we might lose the airport there for a while. And it was at a time when the airport was busy. We had an airline come in flying people directly to Disney World.
Right.
That all was going on. So the numbers were much higher.
Right, much higher.
But the airport, even though it was being used, really looked bad.
Yeah, that's never good for an airport. You want a nice first impression. We've taken extra steps to make sure our landscape people do as they're supposed to, or their contract is being challenged. Same thing with our office space and the downstairs. What used to be the restaurant is now being used as we're going to refurbish it to be a conference center, but also a passenger lounge with food. We're not doing a restaurant because twice that has not worked out, so I've been told. So we're doing something different, and we hope it'll benefit the restaurant owners in the community. And maybe when we get ready to put that brand new restaurant out there on an observation deck where you can sit up and see all the airplanes.
Yeah, talk about that some more, because your restaurant ideas, I never would have thought of that. But then you also mentioned the observation deck.
Right.
I love that idea. That's just like the greatest thing ever.
So I really miss the day when families could come out and sit and watch airplanes like I did as a little girl. And after 9/11, that all stopped.
Yeah.
And now there's an opportunity to move forward again with that. So we have in our plans, I can't share them yet, but our engineers are doing some places because I want something up high so that people can see. And we'd like to have it sort of near the air traffic control towers so that you get a good visual everywhere. Right. And we'll have a restaurant, a bar, and an observation deck that people can just come and sit without having to pay to go to a restaurant. So it'll be both, but it'll be nice and a great opportunity.
When you go to the airport to pick someone up, or if you get there early if there's a delay, if you want to go like just watch the skyline, you have to walk over to the used car lot, over and we're through the cars and look through the fence, toward the north, like is someone coming, and there's got to be a better way for people to access that and see what's happening.
Yeah, we have some great ideas. Like I said, I've got a great team that's working with me, getting everything together, and there's just so many ideas, and everything, as you said before, was kind of subdued and just left status quo. So the opportunity is easy to just bring these ideas to life, you know, and get them out there and get them going.
It was always fun to watch the snack bar, painfully fun, because they would be open, 2 planes would deboard, suddenly there's 70 people in line, and these people who like had no one there for 3 hours, there's all these people, they couldn't service them all, everyone leaves in a huff, and they go out and they tell all their friends how terrible the Salisbury Airport is.
Well, we're working hard to change that image, and I do think with Piedmont's change in equipment and some of the new nav aids that we just had installed, some of our delays will go away, and we're really hoping to have a good marketing season this summer while we have the higher volume of traffic to show them our best foot forward.
Now you said Piedmont. What's the first question everyone asks you since you moved here and they find out who you are? What's the first question?
The first question is, where'd you come from?
Right, they're always suspicious of they're always suspicious of foreigners. Like, what are you doing here? If you're so smart, why are you here?
I'm a come here, so yeah, they want to know how I figured this out. But it's a wonderful place. But no, seriously, they always ask me, so what is your plan for the airport? That's the first thing I get. And if they have time, I drag them into the offices there, and we sit down and I show them what we're looking at. So
see, the people who ask me all the time about the airport is, why can't we fly to BWI? Why can't we fly to Dulles? And I explain that to them. But so, do you want to talk to me about that?
We are going to work on that. It takes a different type of operation than what American does. American goes to their hubs, as does most of the other carriers. They take these the regional carriers and they feed their hubs.
Right.
So we need another carrier to come in to provide a shuttle into BWI. And the beauty of that would be you could check through TSA here in your luggage and pick your luggage up at your destination, and you don't have to go through the traffic and all the switching around security and everything at BWI. So we're working on that.
Yeah. No, everyone seems to want direct access to Southwest. And I understand why American does not want that. I don't blame them at all. And then people who have stuck with some of the international, they complain that they can't get to Dulles. Yeah. Because it's just a crazy drive.
It is a crazy drive. I agree.
Yeah. Piedmont, talk about the jets.
Actually, they have told us that the jets will be operating for our passenger service late summer. So we see them all the time. They're coming in for their conformity checks and being put online on the other routes.
They look beautiful.
They're gorgeous, aren't they? It's very nice to have the jets. Although I'm partial to the Dash 8.
Dash 8s are a workhorse.
They are. They're an awesome airplane.
Yeah. So when jets come, what happens then?
So the service will be the same as far as we know, and you'll just have a different aircraft that you'll board. As far as the residents, I'm sure people are nervous. They always think jets are noisier, when in fact they're actually quieter. So I plan to host a meeting in June for the local public. I haven't put anything out yet because I've got to find a venue to host it. We don't have a place large enough at the airport, but I want to do it locally in the community so they don't have to go far. And I'm going to give them a presentation on why their community airport is important, as well as what the jet noise will look like and why it will seem louder, because it's just a different noise. So until you get used to it, it actually is a lesser decibel.
Yeah, when the Kilburney people would call and complain to the newspaper, I would go, didn't you see there was an airport there? And they would say, but you don't understand. They're doing all kinds of other things. Like they would do maintenance early in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning, planes that weren't even maybe here, they were from somewhere else. So there was noise being generated at a time that was not a classic time for noise.
That airport's been there since, I think, 1942.
Right.
Their deeded properties, to my understanding, has the disclaimer that there is an airport. That airport will grow, and as you get bigger jets in there, then you could have more noise. And we do encourage our military to come over and use our facility for practice.
Yeah.
The D.C. area, metropolitan area, is very, very congested with airspace. So it's very easy for them to come over, do their practices, and we want to encourage that because we want to support our military, and we appreciate them coming over here.
Yeah, we got excited for a while when NASA was using the space shuttle for military purposes. They'd have that, they would take off and go north, the polar orbit, and we were in like one of the landing zones if something went wrong. Now I would think they go to Wallops, it's a huge runway at Wallops, but for some reason they thought that Salisbury might be a place they had to put the shuttle down.
You just never know what the conditions are and where you need it. So airports are always important.
I keep reading that Donald Trump's plane was the biggest plane to land at that airport, but somehow I remembered a bigger plane years ago, and I don't know why I remembered that, but I want to say even like the C-5As from Dover were doing touch and goes there, but I guess that's different than landing if you're doing a touch and go.
Yeah. So we get a lot of military. The F-35 was here the other day. It was awesome to see it out there. The Osprey's there quite frequently. Beautiful, beautiful design of an aircraft. And so it's just a real pleasure to have everybody there. And at the event on Saturday, we will have 2 A4s from up at Martin's Airfield from the Maryland Air National Guard. I'm very happy to have those. Those are interesting airplanes to look at, and their crews will be here. We have the Seahawk coming over from Patuxent. That's their search and rescue, very, very high-tech vehicle, and several other aircraft. So it'll be a great day.
Yeah, when I used to live in Quantico years ago, the Navy denied the existence of the Osprey because it was so secret. And I used to say, we see them flying over the house all the time from Patuxent.
Figment of your imagination.
Right.
You know,
well, it doesn't exist. Well, it's a beautiful plane if it does exist. But that's one of the cool things about having Patuxent there. And one of the bad things, too, I guess, Bloodsworth Island, and they were target areas for the Navy for a long time. And even now, something will blow up randomly on this buried in Bloodsworth Island and scares everyone. Some old ordnance that's there. So what's your future? How long do you plan to be here? This is going to be your thing forever, or how are you going to do this?
I would say 5 years is what I committed to, and I've retired from the FAA. Husband and I took off sailing for 2 years, so I said I can always go back to work to pay for it, and that's what I'm doing.
Right.
So I figure about 5 more years, and I'll be ready to retire and go back to sailing.
So you like sailing as much as flying?
Yes, it's very similar. Very, very many carryover skills, and all your maritime law is what helped develop aviation law. So it's very, very similar, and you'll see lots of pilots out there in their sailboats when they don't fly anymore.
Interesting. I would think that the sailing's so slow.
It is. It's very slow. And my husband flew F4s, and I flew King Airs, and so we're used to going fast. And but it's kind of a nice pace at my age.
That's really cool. Any close calls you want to talk about, or do pilots not do that?
Yeah, I've had lots of close calls flying over the years. I've had 2 plane accidents, and then we had an event up in Alaska when I was flying up there too. But you know, you walk away and brush it off and get right back in.
In places like Alaska, I mean, the weather changes so fast.
Oh, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that about here, though. I don't know if it's true, but that the weather changes fast here.
It does because of the mix of the Chesapeake and the Atlantic. Plus, you have the air coming off the mountains from the Appalachian. So it's a very interesting mix for the weathermen.
Cool. Well, it's great talking to you. Do the wrap-up for me. Tell me all about the event for people who are just tuning in. It's on Saturday. It starts at 8 o'clock. It's from 8 to 3.
Yep, from 8 to 3, Saturday at the Salisbury Airport. There's signs out there. We'll have definite parking for everybody. If there's handicap that needs handicap parking, we have a nice area for that. So as you come in, you'll see those signs. Then follow the signs around. We're parking everybody in one area. That'll be easy access. You can walk out, see the military aircraft right as you first walk in the gate. So we want to honor our service people this year. It's on Armed Forces Day, so that's part of the celebration, and for Aviation Appreciation Month. So then you'll walk across through the cars. We have bands. We have like you said, the pancake breakfast that starts at 8 until we run out. So come early. We're hoping we can stretch it till about 10.
If you come in after me, you might be in trouble.
So food trucks will start at 11, and we have Sobo hosting our adult beverage.
Wow.
And so it'll
there will be adult beverages there?
Oh, yes. And
this
so
is
we'll have
my day's getting planned.
There you go.
This is getting better. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so it starts on Saturday, May 20th at 8 a.m. We'll have pancake breakfast that is free. They'll be raising money through the Salisbury Pilot Association for the Civil Air Patrol, and they'll be there cleaning up and taking care of us all at Bayland Aviation. They're our sponsor for that. All free, come while it lasts. And then we have the military aircraft will be there. We'll have antique aircraft. We have antique car show. The cars are being brought in by Wheels That Heal. So that's a great organization. They do really good things, and we want to thank all of our sponsors. Their banners will be on the fence. And if you haven't seen our website,
including Salisbury Independent, we're getting a banner on the fence.
Yes, you are. Everybody that has helped us make this such a huge success. I hadn't even started yet, but I know it's going to be a great success. So we want to thank all our sponsors. Piedmont was our lead sponsor in partnership to build this. At 11, we'll start with our food trucks. We have adult beverage being served by Sobos, so they'll be there. We have several other vendors for our food trucks and ice cream truck as well. It's going to be a lovely day. We have 3 bands that'll be playing. We have Chris Adams, our delegate for the region. He'll be there as well, and we hope he'll be able to give us some words. And we'll have a few moments where we make some announcements and thank people and honor our military, since it is on Armed Forces Day and it's in appreciation for Aviation Appreciation Month. So we're really excited. The military aircraft will depart at 2:30. The event closes at 3. So if you want to see those airplanes fly and have a beautiful send-off, be there at 2:30 as well.
I'm excited. I can't wait to see the tower.
It's going to be so. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
I've wanted to see the tower my whole life.
The tower tour. So there will be a shuttle bus provided by UMES. They'll take everybody over to the shuttle. There'll be signs to where you need to line up and be ready to go, and they'll take you over. They'll tell you all about the tower, and then you'll walk up the stairs. So unfortunately it's not handicap access, but you can still listen and hear what's going on if you want to participate. So should be a great day, and we hope everybody will learn about the airport. I'll be selling shirts and hats, so part of our advertising and fundraising.
I saw the shirts and hats, $20 for the shirt. It's a beautiful shirt.
Yep, and 20 for the hats. Yeah. They're gorgeous, and we have gray and white hats. They've got our marketing colors that we changed, and so we're really excited. And the website, if you don't already know, is flysbyairport.com, and so is our Twitter, and so is our Facebook. It's all flysby.com. It's very, very interactive, lots of information. The event is on there, so go there for any details on the event. We're hoping to post more educational things on there too about our community airport, so people can learn all about it.
Well, what I like, the boxes are big on it.
Yeah.
When you go to type stuff in, they're big. It's perfect. I love the website.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Dawn Veatch, thanks for being here today. This has been great. We're so excited that you're here for our airport, and we want to help you in any way that we can make the airport better. So thanks for being here.
Well, thank you, and I look forward to many more opportunities to help educate everybody on the value of their community airport.
I'm Greg Bassett from the Salisbury Independent newspaper. Another edition of One-on-One right here on PAC 14.
First Shore Federal is proud to support PAC 14 and One-on-One. We'd encourage every business to support PAC 14 and pick a program and support it, and let's make a difference.